other fix I have today. I like redoing stuff. So today we're gonna get this thing started. I think I've said that a lot of times, but today it's gonna actually happen. I'm pretty positive of it. So, off camera, what have I done? I got this pipe. So this 180, the intercooler piping wasn't lining up, so I had to order a different piece here. Now it looks a lot better. I just gotta get the downpipe on there, but it's a lot further away from the engine, so the downpipe should fit. And then my daughter put the other headlight on last night. And then we're going.
I refuse to play your Chinese food mind games. No! No and then!
And then?
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 No, no and then! Then you're really starting to piss me off, lady. And then? I'm gonna come in there and I'm gonna put my foot in your ass if you say and then again!
I'm going to be using this Grams fuel filter. So we'll be mounting this up like so. And then we got to make the feed and return lines for the fuel, along with using this adjustable fuel pressure regulator. So got this there we go. That was really slow to go into focus, but now I'll probably be out of focus. No, close enough. So yeah, so I'm gonna get the downpipe on and start to do the oil drain for the third or fourth time, I think. This time it's gonna work good because I got a good fitting this time that's really low profile, so it should work a lot better than it did. So yeah, I'll follow back up with you once I am ready to actually start making that -10 oil drain line. So I just got the oil drain line all measured and marked it. So here we go with the that's where I got a cut. I'm just going to cut it with a cutoff wheel. Let you guys watch, hopefully, if I can get a good angle on this. There you go. Nice clean cut. Yeah, keep on the runway. So there's my drain now, clearancing the exhaust manifold, and then now the hot side clears it as well. And I do. Okay, so I changed plans again. I did get the fuel filter to work. I used the -6 fitting I had to put it on the fuel line. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see that. There you go, kind of. So I had a -6 fitting for the return. I just use that for the feed, and then the return I'll just leave the rubber hose for now. And Lily came out, so she's going to help me be able to record. So here we go. When I say here, I go every time. There you go. Nah. Can you see, or do you need to get moved over more?
You're kind of small, but I can zoom in.
The next day here. morning before church here, Easter Sunday. Going to get the radiator out, and I've got a pusher fan so that I can move the fan from the inside to the outside here to have more room. So I'm going to get that out and installed, and then get the fans plug wired up, and then you can see I got the bumper support off. I started cutting it to make room for the intercooler, so I just got to work on that, but it's a little early right now, so I'm not going to do that right this second just because it's so loud. But I'll probably do that once I get back from church. And then I got the coupler for throttle body to fit, and yeah, it's looking like hopefully start up today. The fuel is done, so there's the fuel setup, and then this is my regulator setup, and then I got a gauge right there. I got my headlights sitting here because there's a gauge on the fuel rail. It's getting really close, so let me rip this radiator out, and then we'll get the fan on there. Finally getting back to it. I've been working on fabricating mounts for the intercooler, so I'm going to show you those. And I didn't really record anything because I'm trying to get it done. But these little brackets here, I made out of some 3/16 steel rod, and I cut out my my bumper support a little bit to fit it. And then down below here, we're just about to weld these. If you can see them. Oh, I can't. There we go. So again, just 3/16 stock, measured it, cut it, grinded it to fit on both sides. So that side I didn't grind it to weld. I'm going to tack this side up. Yeah, then we'll follow up once we're done. Alright, so there's the final product. All mounted. So the reason I hesitated last clip was I realized as I was doing it, I'm not going to be able to take that off unless I cut those brackets off, but we're going to send it, because what do we need to take it off for? There's nothing behind it, so that's how it's staying. But everything else lines up really nice. So this charge pipe on the cold side lines up real nice to the throttle body. On this side we have the down pipe on. Oh, it's touching right this second, but we can move that. This bracket's stopping that, so we got a little bit of play there. There we go. Get that off the down pipe, and we'll wrap that down pipe, and then we'll lay it around. So good to go. Intercooler, turbo kit, almost finished, or the intercooler's finished, but things left on the turbo kit is the wastegate, blow off valve. That's it. Rest of it's done. So I got a few other things to button up in the engine bay. Next I'm going to try to get, I missed a bolt with the power steering that goes right there, so you can see I got the alternator belt back off and the alternator pried open. I can't get the bolt in there because of the paint. Smart me, painting the engine bay without blocking off the threads, so I just got a tap to chase those threads down to try to get that bolt in there without taking the engine back out, because that would be horrible. But yeah, then from there I'm going to wire up the fuel pump and put the fuel pump in, and I'll pick up there once I get to the fuel pump. Well, YouTube, it's another new day. I'm really getting sick of these new days without this car running, but we'll get her. Things completed last time. Maybe not on camera. It's power steering hose. Really smart to put that bolt right there in before this engine, but done. Other fix I have today. I like redoing stuff. So, here we go. This metal fuel line. You see it? Nope, too dark. This metal fuel line with this fitting, compression fitting on here to go to AN, kinked down at the bottom. We're going to cut it off underneath the car, put a new AN fitting on it, and run a nylon hose all the way up to the filter, and then we'll be able to straighten the filter out as well. So I'm going to start with that. From there, I'm going to jump onto the fuel pump. So the fuel pump, we got the wire just roughly pulled through the cabin. I just want to make sure the wire was long enough because it looked like it was going to be too short. So here's my 10 gauge wire that will go up to the battery so that we can run 14 volts at the fuel pump. So right here. So we'll put a fuse on the end of that one, and then back in there we'll put the relay and wire up the fuel pump. So here's the pump. It's a big one. So we'll swap out that pump with the stock one, and hopefully by tonight. Then, if I have all that done, here's my list that I gotta do. So we gotta do the fuel pump and the base fuel, valve lash, bleed brakes and clutch, fluids, throttle cable, grounds, blow off valve, coolant temp sensor, suspension, yeah, coolant temp sensor. That kind of ticked me off. My coolant temp sensor just broke. Something I was screwing around with in here and snapped it right off there. Okay, got another one on the engine. So that's gonna be like the last thing I do. Probably do the valve lash today too. That would be easy. There's something on that list I kind of already started. Oh, throttle cable. So I kind of started the throttle cable. Trying to figure out where I can have this lay that's a little bit better than this, but it's already almost all the way in the firewall and it's still pretty long. I ordered the Type R cable because it was shorter, I thought, but I don't know. It looks just as long as my other one. So whatever. I don't know. It'll work though. It'll pull the throttle plate open. That's what we want to do. We want to start it. We want to rev it up. At least a little bit, until the lighting gets better. There we go. Until we can, what are we trying to do here? Oh, break in the motor. That's number one. That's step one. Before we can hit those boosts. So, I'll follow up with you guys in a little bit. Set up a tripod here once I get the, I'll probably do the fuel line not on camera because I already did that once. So, once I get to the fuel pump, I'll set up a little time lapse. Alright, another day, another hopefully finish, but we'll see. We what do we got going on here today? So yesterday I was able to get the valve cover done, the valves lashed, throttle cable on. This morning got the axles in. Then also last night, or 2 nights ago now, I don't remember, finished up the wiring for the relay back there, which is super dark, you can't really see, but so that's done. So now I'm working on getting this oil pressure gauge wired up so that hopefully we can hook up the battery, and yeah, that should be it. See if it builds fuel pressure. After fuel pressure, see if it builds some oil pressure. But yeah, so on the fuel pressure side, I gotta wire in this fuse right here. Oh, right there. Gotta wire in this fuse. Put in a 30 amp fuse. Wire it into the terminal there. So there's a fuse there. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. Otherwise, everything else, I think I'm gonna start it with open manifold here, so that, and I bought a plug for this so that I don't want to blow any shavings or anything on that fresh engine into the turbo. But yeah, it's like a lot of little things now to try to get completed, so here we go.